Making sausage from wild hogs that have been poorly fed. William Hovey Smith, 2016. I'm the author of Backyard Deer Hunting, and here we again approach sausage making.
This is Hovey Smith with Hovey's Outdoor Adventures. And this episode we're going to make hog sausage from hogs that have been on very poor feed. This is a wild hog. It was shot above Lake Okeechobee in southern Florida. And this is the leanest hog I have ever shot.
On this partially skint hog, you can see there's absolutely no fat covering the hams or on the hide or on the flanks.
This animal had no fat on it. Even boiling the bones yielded almost no fat at all. Here in central Georgia and in coastal Georgia we have lots of acres, and these are carbohydrate rich, and our wild hogs up here are covered in fat. Down there those hogs had no fat on them, and there's no fat in the muscle tissue. Whoa. So consequently, if you're going to make sausage out of these hogs, yeah, you're going to have to add a little fat. Well, fortunately, I have hog fat that I recovered from some of my hogs a couple of years ago and been keeping in the refrigerator, and it's just fine. So I'm going to add some of that to make the sausage. Now, in the sausage seasonings, I'm going to make a southern sausage this time. The seasonings consist of salt, crushed red pepper, some cayenne pepper, black pepper, garlic, and sage, with a little mace. And this will make our seasoning mix. Now, the bad thing about salt seasonings is that they clump, hence the grinder here. So I'm going to use this mortar and pestle and actually grind my seasonings before I put them on the product themselves. Now, concerning the hog meat, it's going into this grinder, and you can see how lean it is. I do not put a lot of fat in my sausage. I like it about 5 or 6% rather than 25%. Even so, I have to add some just for workability. So, to one pan of this, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of my hog fat and then grind this together. So we're going to get started doing that. And you notice with hog meat, I'm wearing gloves when I'm handling it. With deer, I often will not, but with hogs, yeah, I consider this pretty well a necessity, because these southern hogs, some of them, do carry some real nasty diseases. Okay, there's the hog meat. And here's our fat. It's good and fresh. And you can smell fat, by the way, and if it smells rancid, well, it is, and you shouldn't use it. But it will keep almost indefinitely. In fact, some products are actually preserved under a layer of hog fat. Okay? Make sure we get a lump down in there to start with. Okay, so we're going to start up the grinder. It's going to make a lot of noise, so I'll just show you a little bit of this.
We are through the meat grinding stage now, so I'm going to put the grinder away, and we're actually going to start preparing our sausage seasoning mix and mixing up the sausage and trying a couple of trial patties until we get the mix right. I've turned it out in this larger tub so you can see a little bit of the mixing process. And the first off we're going to do is grind our spices. You can see here how irregularly clumped they are. So we're going to sort of take care of that. Well, we're going to try about half of this mix. It may take more, but about half is going to be right to start with. We'll make up a little patty, put it on the stove and try it and see how it tastes, and then add more if needed. Now you can always add more, but you can never take back. This sausage has so little fat that you can't cook it like regular sausage. What you do is put it in a pan and you brown it on both sides, and then you add about a cup of water and let it steam on one side. You flip it and you add another cup of water and let it steam on the other side. But you want to make sure it is very, very done indeed before you consume it. About these knives, this is one that I had a broken tip on, and I reground it and I put the tip back and made a drop point on it. And so this is what I used actually to skin and do most of the processing on the hog. The knife blade is pretty thick. You need sometimes a thinner blade, and so that's what this lever lock is here. It's by Camillus, although you can't buy it anymore. It's an obsolete pattern, and in fact the company has even gone out of business. But an interesting knife. Opens like yay. Then this is a Spanish knife with a long, thin blade, a little nice file work on the back. This is a nice little utility knife for general long slicing. This isn't a lock back, it's a regular slip joint knife, but I like its slim profile, and you can put this in a pocket and hardly know you have it. Plus it gives you enough blade length to do some good if you want to do some serious slicing, like you're on a picnic or something, you want to slice some meat. Yeah, this does very nice. So okay, I think maybe our trial patties are about ready. So here is same, and we will see how it does do. As I suspected, can use a little more of everything. A taste of pepper, but not near enough. A little salt. So not all of this goes in there, but more of it goes in there. And some additional crushed red pepper, I think. So that's what we're going to do next. So now we have the trial patty on. It's getting about ready to flip. You notice it's browning right down there on the bottom. Yeah. Let that brown a little bit, and then we'll add our cup of water. And no worry about that frying pan, by the way. It cleans up very nicely. When I see it start browning up the sides, then I'll add the water. Now this is where the family part of sausage making comes in. Everybody can come in with, doesn't it need a little more? Yeah, a little more pepper, a little more salt, whatever. Just remember, too many cooks spoil the stew. So, and once you overdo something, you ruin the whole batch. So, you want to proceed cautiously. Although there are some things you can do with an over-salted sausage, like cook it in vegetables or dilute it in something like a meatloaf. So there we have it. That is done. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay.
So we'll get that up and taste it. And put some water in the frying pan, keep it from sticking. We have our steaming sausage patty here. We're going to see how we do. And incidentally, the sausage meat's in the refrigerator, so it can be kept cool. Yeah, that looks good. It's well done. Now that tastes like sausage. Got pepper and salt. Taste the other seasonings. I'm going to call that one good. Now incidentally, if you're wondering about yield, this meat represents what was taken from 2 front shoulders of about a 185-pound wild hog. And so I'll let you know how much it actually weighed when I next take it out. So this will give you an idea about what your yield is and why sausage meat is so expensive. Because, yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into it, and your yield is not as great as you might expect. You don't get 100 pounds of meat from a 180-pound hog. I guarantee you, no way. Not even close. So what happens next is I let it get nice and cool again, and then I actually package it in plastic bags and wrap it in paper and put it in the freezer. And that winds it up. But now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe. Goodbye, God bless, and see you next time. As one might assume from the cover, I do have recipes in backyard deer hunting and also in crossbow hunting, as well as more exotic recipes in extreme muzzleloading. These 3 books all contain wild game recipes, including those for making sausage from hogs and deer. And I have some other YouTubes on the subject as well. For more information on my books, blogs, and nearly 500 videos, go to my website, www.hoveysmith.com. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye, and God bless.